Hey everyone, welcome back. I want to talk about something really cool now, and that is auto layout buttons. So let's jump right in. I'm just going to copy this right here. Let's copy that and just drag it. Same thing here. Okay, so now I have two buttons. These are both auto layout buttons, and we're going to create them together. So a lot of people like to create buttons with rectangles in the back, and I personally don't like that. So you'll see somebody go like, basically they'll grab, just the text layer, and then they'll take a rectangle and do this. And I'm just going to move it to the back here, so that they'll do something like this. And then they'll maybe put in a frame, and then they'll have to deal with constraints and things not working properly, because then you have like a couple of different things you have to worry about. You'll have to worry about maybe the constraints or the resizing of the actual frame, and also that of the rectangle within. So this is a no-no. Let's avoid that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually keep that text layer, and I'm going to remove the rectangle. I'm going to take this text layer and I'm going to group it again. So remember, if you need the shortcut, just right click and you'll see it over here. So I framed it already using the shortcut. And I'm going to call this my button. And then I'm going to auto layout. Now, because I'm selecting this button frame right here, I'm going to press I and grab this color. You'll notice that it didn't pop up. That's because it's hidden. So don't be scared if that happens. Here, I can now adjust padding. And I can also set like fixed heights. I like to set fixed heights on my content when it's like a button that's not going to reach like a second line. So I'll just bring that height to 48 pixels. And then I'm going to start building it with auto layout. So we have that selected. The direction doesn't matter here. Neither does the spacing between the items, because we don't have an icon in there, so it's not really going to matter. Here we can actually start to the horizontal spacing, the padding, and I'm just going to select something like 32. And I'm going to make sure that this is aligned in the middle. That's really nice. And I'm not going to worry about the vertical padding because I don't really need it. I set a fixed height on this, as you can see up here, and you don't really need to worry about that. The other thing is the border radius. You can adjust that over here. I'm going to set it to 4. Let's see what that looks like. That looks really nice. So there's a couple things you can do with buttons here. You can either set them to a fixed width, like this. So if you want really long buttons, or you can set it to hug the contents. And hugging the contents means that it's going to essentially be hugging the width of whatever's within, plus the padding. So you'll see the padding's over here is at 32 pixels. Now you may want to make a bunch of different buttons. I like to have a couple different variations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this one by clicking in, pressing Command D. I'm just going to drag it below. And I'm going to make this version. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring down the text to, let's say, 14. I want this to be a transparent button like this. So what I would do here is I would remove the fill and set a stroke. So I'm going to press the little plus button on the stroke. And from here, I can click on this color, click the color picker, and then take that same blue. Same thing for the fill. Now, one thing you may be wondering is, oh my goodness, this is a little bit of a large button. So we can just shrink that down. Say 32, I think is fine. And then we can adjust the padding accordingly. And now we have a primary and a secondary button. And that is how you make some quick buttons using auto layout.